In this video, I'm documenting the updated nutrient barrel routine I'm using with my alkaline mussel extraction, which is mixed 50-50 with the original FERMAKOR PK Micros. I start by filling a 30-liter barrel with about 20 liters of lukewarm water. The temperature is just warm enough to help everything dissolve and react evenly. Next, I add 100 milliliters of the FERMAKOR PK Micros and mussels mix. This blend is stored very alkaline on purpose, because it's more stable that way. But that also means the pH of the barrel shoots up so high that the test drops basically. Just show a deep blue block at the top of the scale. To bring that back under control, I use a 59% phosphoric acid pH down. For this batch, I measured out around 10 to 11 milliliters and poured it directly into the barrel. That does two jobs at once. It neutralizes the excess alkalinity, and it adds extra phosphorus for bloom. After mixing well, I check the pH again. At this point, the solution is sitting roughly in the 5.7 to 5.9 range. The water is still a bit muddy from the organics, so the reading isn't lab-grade perfect, but it's exactly where I want it for cocoa. Once the pH is buffered, I can safely add the salts. I measure about 20 grams of calcium nitrate and drop that into the barrel, then stir until it's fully dissolved. With the pH already down around 5.8, there's no real risk of calcium precipitating out from the earlier extreme alkalinity. After the calcium, I add magnesium. Here I'm using roughly 8 grams of magnesium sulfate or Epsom salt. That goes straight into the barrel and gets stirred in to balance the calcium-magnesium ratio. For micronutrients, I keep it very light, because the mussel component already carries a lot of trace elements. I'm using Fetrilon Combi, one and only adding a literal trace, just a knife tip amount, to cover iron, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, and molybdenum without overdoing it. To finish the mix, I add about 30 milliliters of my fermented fruit and fish plant juice. That's mainly there as a biological and carbon source, not as the main NPK driver. After that, I top the barrel up close to its full 30-liter volume with water and give everything a final stir. I run one last pH check at the end. In this case, the pH stayed in the optimal range around 5.8. So I didn't need any final correction with citric acid. If it was slightly off, I'd use a very small amount of citric just for fine-tuning. So the full sequence for this mix is water, mussel and FERMAKOR PK blend, phosphoric acid buffer, calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, a trace of Fetrilon Micros, fermented juice, and finally the water top-up and pH check. This is still an experimental routine, but it keeps the alkaline extract under control and gives me a stable barrel around pH 5.8 for cocoa. Educational content only.